Hey everyone, Merry Christmas. I'm coming back to you today with the second version of the one, which is a simple little craft fur jig. In the vise, we have a 1/4 ounce football head, which got a 1/0 Mustad 32 746 hook. It's a little bit heavier than the owner 5318. I'm going to throw this primarily on 8-pound line with a medium powered rod. Now for me, I'll use a spinning rod with these, but you can use casting because we'll have enough weight with this. But with the medium powered spinning rod, I like a fast action. You're still not going to have to set the hook hard using this hook, because that's where you're going to bend the hook out. If you're going to throw a light wire jig hook and you're going to bend the hook out, it's normally because the tackle's too heavy and it's too much of a hook set at the beginning. That's where the hook flexes. But once the fish is hooked and the hook's fully penetrated, it takes an awful lot to bend the hook out. But I digress. It's something that's a non-issue for me because, again, I'm using 8-pound line, 7'1" medium powered spinning rod, and it's just like I said, a simple upward motion with your wrist. You're not really crossing their eyes. That's all you need. Just a quick pop of the rod sets the hook, and you're fine. Anyway, like I said, 1/4 ounce football head. The color is crawdad. If you don't have the crawdad color, pumpkin brown is what I originally did this until I found this color. The pattern is Gourd, and it's a brown and a green pumpkin tied together. It's pretty good. It's a good pattern for me. I like it. I've caught a lot of fish with it, and it's something I use intermittently, especially if I have clear water and I'm fishing like a rock flat where you have that brown clay. This is a really good one because it blends in with the bottom, but there's enough color contrast that the fish do pick it up really easy. So we're going to take a little bit of super glue, gel control, just a little bit on there. And you see I cut the little groove in the top here in the jig after I painted it, where the other ones I did before I painted it. So I pointed the notch out in the video, but this one you could see better. So gotta get my scissors here. We get a little bit of a base started, and we're gonna start putting our craft fur in. Put it in small bunches. It's easier to do it that way. A viewer, Ken Tyler, asked me about that, why I use so many little bunches, and it just helps me to make sure the jig is uniform going all the way around it. It's not heavier on one side than the other, and doing it in layers like this is a lot easier. So again, we're going to put it on here that we got about a ½ an inch or so behind, past the hook bend. That's the length I really like, because you could still, it's really good with a trailer, but I could still fish it without a trailer. That's important because on them cold days, they sometimes don't want that trailer. So this color that I'm putting on, this brown color, is orangutan rust. I know it's a funky name for a color craft fur, but I point this one out too when people say, what kind of craft fur do you like? I really like the extra select, and when you go to Barlow's, I believe it's called imitation polar bear hair. But I tell people, if you want to make sure you got the right stuff, when you look under the colors, if you see a color called orangutan rust, then you know you got the right stuff. It's the extra select craft fur. So we're going to take another bunch. I'm going to line it up what we already have tied in. And we'll flip it up. And all I'm going to do here is just put it in there to make sure that it's even. And it looks pretty good. You take another bunch, and I'm going to line this up on the side first. I got some long ones I got to pull out of there. That happens, just like bucktail. I got to stack some of it because, and that's one of the things with this stuff. Look on the ends. If you got like a bunch of long ones, you could pull it up, stack it on there just like you do bucktail. No different in the way you tie it. And you always want to, like when you're putting a bunch in, try to overlap a little bit on the front and the back, because that way it'll blend it in. It won't look like it's all separate little bundles. You'll blend it in. I'll try to do it here that you can see what I'm doing. I'll try to put this bunch in. What I do, I just make a little start there, and we spread it out a little bit, but we're making sure we're over top. We got a little bit overlap in the back and a little bit overlap on the top, and that's good because now it'll all be together. And you won't be able to see that you tied it in layers. Ain't that neat? Now you can actually see that here where I went on the other side of the hook. Voila. Blend it in. Now, the next thing we're going to do, this is our dark olive craft fur, and I'm not going to make it even with the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up, and we're going to be right where the bottom of the hook is, right where the bottom of the bend is. That's where we are going to make our length. I like this because then you get the color on top and then you get the brown coming out the bottom. I think it's more natural that way. Here, we're just fanning this material out. Looks pretty good. Same thing. Lining up with what we have. Doesn't have to be perfect. Be a little longer because it really is up to you. With this color, you said I like the I call it gourd because it has the colors, but when you look at them gourds, sometimes they have two different colors and the bottom color is different than what it is on the top. It's all different kinds of stuff, and that's what this reminded me of the first time I ever made this pattern. I said, boy, it looks like a gourd. And voila, it's the green gourd. Or in with this case, it's just gourd. And that's, you'll see me preening this stuff back, especially when you have it in a little bit larger jig. And that's just to make sure that the hair doesn't separate, that it stays together. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you master craft fur, this is a really good material. Like I said, it's the one. If I was going to have just one hair jig and couldn't do anything else, this would be the deal. I would probably go with an 1/8 ounce because the waters I fish tend to be more shallow and rockier, so I like the slower fall. But 1/4 ounce is fine too. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cinch it. Put our water-based head cement. And there's nothing wrong with Sally Hansen's or anything else like that. No, that's a question I get, is why did I switch? It's just that this makes more sense for me. It penetrates really well, but it dries super fast, and I haven't had any issues with it. So that's why. But Sally Hansen's is still good. In fact, let me see here. I still have some Sally Hansen's. I still have some. So we're going to take this out, and we're going to put our trailer in here. And my buddy at Three Hands Custom Tackle Art was kind enough. This is a mint brown with black flake in it, and I know you can't see it under my lighting, but this is brown, and it has that. It's like the H cross that I showed you that I got from Adam over at SDG. It's the same color. It's that brown, greenish brown with that. There is a green tint in this mint brown color. And it is phenomenal. And it works perfect with this pattern. Now I'll get my clamp here, and I'll show you what we have. There it is. And I'll throw this in the tank probably right after New Year's. I'll try to find a better way that you could see that. There you go. You can really see the color in that. This is a really good pattern. Like I said, where you have the brown bottom, wow, it gets bit. It's a really good pumpkin type color. And again, this jig, like I said, it's a winner. Even if you have no experience fishing a hair jig, you'll catch them with this. It's one of those few things that works just about any time you use it. Oh, there you have it. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And again, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And I wish you all a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. Thanks for watching.